Hey y'all, Kentucky Farmer here, and welcome back to the third episode here in this FS19 Let's Play series. And it is a new day here in Ravenport. I've been busy most of the night. I've cleared out all the trees here from around this field. And of course, purchased 19 and worked on clearing out some of the fields over here. Moved all the equipment off to the hillside over there. And I am ready to start paving the farmyard area. So I've got two mods that are going to help with this. And one of them, isn't actually a placeable mod, it's like a script mod that changes how the game works. And I'll put a link to both of them in the video description. But then I also have another mod over here, which is this leveling mod. It's like a leveling and paving in one, so you can pick whether you want asphalt or dirt, or just restores it back to being grass. We're gonna work with these asphalt ones because I want it to look like a big parking lot basically. So when you look at this, you can see there's kind of a green marker under my cursor, and then off in the distance towards the waterfall there's another green marker, and then there's going to be two more green markers to my right. They're kind of hard to see because they're under the grass, but they're over there. I can just barely see them, and that's kind of pointing out where. Alright, so one of them is kind of over by the flagpole now. I'm moving it around. Those markers are what tells you where the edges of this piece are going to be, the boundaries of what's being paved. And the marker that's underneath my cursor is the reference point, so it's going to level it at that level. So as I go uphill, my cursor goes uphill, which means the other 4 points would be higher than. I want to work off this road as my reference because I want my parking lot to be level with the road when I drive equipment in and out. So I'll start here. I want to get it as close as I can to both the road and those poles there, because I don't own this lot to the left of me yet, so if I move too far over here, it'll tell me you don't own this land, so I can't place it there. But I can place it right about there. So we'll put down the first one. So you can see it's just a big chunk of paving, and it leaves those little corner markers to let you know where the boundary is. And then say I want to put down another one here. I can just kind of leave my cursor on that reference point. A little bit of overlap, and then I can place it. The other thing to note, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, the price of this. So to fill this area in, if it was perfectly flat ground and you're just putting down another one on perfectly flat ground, it should pretty much be 0. So we'll come over here. See, this is pretty close to being 0. There's a little bit of a hill to the right that it would terraform, so that's where that cost is coming from. Here it's going to be a little more money because we're filling in a good chunk of land. But this is because of the place anywhere terrain modifier mod does two things. That allows me to place this stuff, like this piece here I wouldn't be able to put down normally because there's that water pipe and the flagpole, and that little area with the junk in it is in the way, so it would normally block this from being able to do this. But the place anywhere mod allows me to do this, and that mod reduces the terraforming cost by 1/50th. So this would cost almost $250,000 to place this under the normal game settings, which is crazy. You know, a couple $1,000s, that seems a lot more realistic to me to essentially have, fill dirt and gravel brought in, right? Like, so we'll go ahead and place this one, and I'll do one more right there. And one more, see if I can make it all the way to that cliff. Right there. Alright, made it all the way to the cliff. Cool. And we'll come over this way. Here, once you get into the hills, you have to be a little more careful. And so, well, so before I do that, now you can see it's got these little sheds. They're non-clippable, you can walk through them. And there's these little markers on the corner. And so we can go in and I can sell those. If I go into my garage, you can see they're all listed here in the garage. So if I select one of these to sell, it brings me back here and it gives me this cursor. You have to put the cursor right over that the yellow black area, and then you can sell these. And that basically takes the corner markers and the little buildings, but leaves the pavement. And then you can kind of see over here, like, most of that junk is still there. Obviously the bushes and the grass is gone. But when it lifts up the level, all that stuff that's there is still there. It just is kind of a little more embedded into the pavement. So now I'm going to go back. And I'm going to start using the smaller ones. So we were using the 50 by 50s, now I'm going to use the 25 by 25s. And I'm going to kind of rotate around here so I can see this edge. And I want to rotate this. And I basically want to get right about there and place that. Again, where my cursor is the reference point. I can place this one there, fill that in. And then when I get up here to this hillside, what I'm looking for is, I want to move this, so there's that cursor. I want to move it until it just kind of goes into the hillside, like partially into the hill. And that's how I know that the corner will be kind of at the right level. So there you can see that's a pretty smooth transition. It didn't cut in too far, and it didn't lift itself up above it too far. And then I can do the same thing. I'm just going to leave my cursor on my reference point, rotate this around until that one that's in the hillside is just kind of like barely sticking out. And there we go. And then if I wanted to, like, I could kind of straighten that chunk by coming right here. Like that. And then we can pave that. So again, cursor on the reference point, rotate until it disappears into the hill. Cursor on my reference, rotate until it disappears into the hill. And I'm just going to kind of work my way around like this. And here I need to start getting a little more careful with it because the hill kind of curves back. There we go. So now once again I'm going to go around and sell these. And I just gotta get the cursor over the little yellow and black part. Sell. Oh, that's not good. I don't have a I don't have a corner marker for this piece. Well, actually, I can still sell that because it's the only one left in my inventory. Perfect. Alright. The other thing I learned with this is to save often. And also back up your save before you start. And then if you do a bit of work and you're really happy with it, back up your save again. Yeah, it can be a little weird, and then if you screw up and get part of your level wrong, then you're really gonna have a problem. Alright, so it's a good thing I mentioned saving often and backing up, because my game actually did crash again while working on this. I'm going to come back in and get back to fixing this. Some 50 by 50s. And we just got to fill this section in here. Okay, I've got that section filled in. I'm going to go ahead and save again here. I'm going to switch back over to the 25 by 25s. No, I might do... Well, here, let's... We gotta work around and follow this terrain, but I want to follow it from this side, so I'm going to rotate the camera. So I can see my marker there. Alright, I think that's most of it. And we can go back in and start selling these. Alright, that's everything sold. I'm going to go ahead and save again real quick before my game crashes. Excellent. Let's kind of walk around the perimeter here and see. So I kind of cut into this field a little bit. I'm okay with that. I may get rid of that field if I need more space. And then I kind of kept this back a little ways. this terrain picks up pretty quick here, so if I carried that over, it kind of cuts into this corner a little bit and makes it hard for tractors to get up to that part. And then of course over here I've got this transition to this trail, which is pretty nice and smooth, so that's not bad at all. I cut into this hillside, but I don't really care. There's just no reason to have anything. In fact, this may wind up being a barn. Let's see, I can... Oh, I don't own this land. That's why that tree's still there. This land I can actually buy, I think. Let me check the map. I'm not going to buy it now, but I think it is available to be purchased. Yeah, so this is all part of this track here. So I may get that eventually so that I can cut down the trees. And this is a little steep. I don't really have any need or intention to use that trail for anything. This would be nice if I could get water out of here, like back a water trailer in and fill it, but I'm not too worried about it. And then this transition to this trail is nice and smooth, so that looks good. The outhouse is kind of buried. Not much I can do about that. And then of course this transition here looks pretty good. So again, the field of potatoes, I'm just gonna plow this in. Probably roll some of it that's near the pavement and then convert some of that further area up there into a field and just make a giant hay field over there. See, this transition isn't too bad. If anything, I probably could have pulled this over closer. The problem is I don't own this section, so I'm having a hard time getting stuff into the hillside or closer over here. So again, once I am able to buy this, I can potentially expand my farmyard over that way more. But this gives me a big area to work with. I should be able to put quite a few buildings down in here. And then this section here, I don't have the money to do it right now, but I've got a mod that actually is perfect for right here. If we look at the silos, we've got the stock ones. This is the little one, holds 100,000. Big one holds 200,000, and then you can put these expansion silos on. I've got this mod here, which has 3 silos, and the unload and then the load triggers on the other side. And it actually fits perfectly. Like, the 3 silos fit inside this fenced in area, and then you can put the load or unload point on this side, and then the other one would be on this side right here. And then I've even got room, you know, to add, probably not on that side, but this side here I could add a couple more expansion silos if I wanted to. It looks a little weird because, you know, like the car kind of half sticks out of one of them, and some of the other junk is kind of like half in and out, but overall it's actually not bad, and I think better than just kind of like leaving this stupid thing here in the middle of the farmyard. I really wish that this was removable without having to edit the map, but let's see, the next thing I was going to work on is expanding the field up there, and then later do more logging over here and log out the trees on this side. So I've got a mod loaded that I wanted to take a look at here. Might be subsoilers. Yeah, there we go. So the DC401 plow, it's a subsoiler, but in the game it's actually treated as a plow. So you can use it to create create field edges. So I kind of want to sell, if we remember from the first episode, I bought a plow and I bought a subsoiler because the subsoiler, I prefer using subsoilers, but they don't act as plows as far as field edge creation, so I bought a plow for creating fields. But I can use that one mod now and it will fill both roles. So I'm gonna drop off this wheel or this roller somewhere. I guess I can go back to parking stuff down here now. Park that. I'm gonna get rid of the front loader arms and the forks. And then I'm gonna run, grab the plow and the cultiplow or the subsoiler, take those back to the store, and then I'm gonna buy that mod and bring it back. Well, I made it back to the store, and we're gonna go ahead and sell this. $8,494. And sell this, $12,534. Never used. And then we'll head over here and we'll buy the cultiplow. So now you can see when I go into the menu, it has allow create fields as an option. And that's the key. It has to say allow create fields in order for it to be considered a plow. So, perfect. This should get us going. Head back over to the farm. Look at that nice big old parking lot. What a great big flat area for putting down placeables. Alright, so we're going to allow create fields, lower plow, and away we go. I'm just going to freehand the perimeter, and I basically want this area to be as big as possible. I don't think I'll be using hired workers. I mean, I'll give it a try, but there's a small enough grass field I may wind up just, whenever I do anything on this field, just doing it by hand. Or, you know, wait until courseplay comes out and I can specify a field edge parameter, or perimeter. This will also help me find all the tree stumps that I missed when I cut down these trees. I'm kind of curious to see how this works. As you can see, it takes out the bushes when you plow, so plowing is one of the few ways to remove these bushes in this game. Heading up here, you can see I'm gonna have a bit of a problem because there's some rocks, so I'm gonna try and pull this path in here. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's not great. And then it gets really steep right here. So we're just going to do what we can. Even if I wind up rolling this section back out, I kind of wanted to plow this to get rid of the bushes. Okay, that was quite a bit of plowing. We've got this all plowed all the way out to that little lane. So it's probably farther than I actually want the field to be, but I wanted to plow far enough that it got rid of the bushes. And then what I'm going to do is come through with a seeder and plant grass, and then anywhere where like the seeder has a hard time, like if it's skipping or if the tractor's having a hard time maneuvering around, then I'll kind of like take note of that and then come back and roll it around the perimeter to shrink down what's considered actually part of the field. And that way, when I go to do the hay, it should be alright. So we can leave that there. The next thing I need to do is actually grab that stump grinder. And I kind of want a bucket on the front of the tractor. So I think I'm gonna grab the front arms and then run up to the shop real quick and get a bucket. There's a couple chunks of wood still kind of out in the field. I want to pick that stuff up and go around and grind up. There's a couple stumps that I missed. So I think if I had a bucket, I could have somewhere to put the bits of wood as I go around. So I'm gonna drive up to the store and then I'll pick this up when I get there. Okay, made it back to the store. Yeah, we'll go into implements and let's see here. Front loader. Could just have the one option. And of course we want it in John Deere green. Ta-da! That'll work. So now I just need to come up here and I'm going to grab the stump grinder. So the stump grinder kind of doesn't work too well on a tractor that has a front loader arm, because it should have a few more controls for raising and lowering it and moving it around, but they don't work because they're already bound to the front bucket. Oh, I thought there was some sticks over there, but I think it's just birds. Well, that's odd. Can't pick it up. I kinda think that might be a stump. Let's see if we can grind it. Alright, I'm gonna have to come back to that one when I can take the front bucket off. This one's kind of doing the same thing. Can't pick it up. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to come back for a second trip. I think I lost some of it there. just gotta figure out why this thing is stuck in the side of the chipper. Hey, alright. Problem solved. Alright. Got all that stuff. Let's head back over and get some more. Whoop, there we go. Some of these pieces are weird. There's just like only a little bit that you can actually pick it up by. See, like that clips through the bucket except for that last bit there. I think that's it for the bits of wood. I just got those two things that are maybe stumps that I gotta try and grind out, but whoops. Did it again. So now without the front loader arms, I've got much better control over this thing, and just like that, it's able to grind out that piece of a stump. I think I've got one more up here. Nice. So that works well. One thing I found out while I was working with this yesterday, so there's these decorative stumps in the woods. You can actually grind these out just like regular stumps. Ta-da! The other thing I found a little interesting is... I should turn off the stump grinder, not the tractor. Along this trail, there's these bits of wood, like fallen dead tree, that. And then there's another one further up here. I moved those yesterday, and they are back today. So... it's like they just respawn in if you pick them up and move them. I don't know if that's a wedge or a stump. Can't pick it up. Yeah, it must be a bit of a stump. Well, the other two went good. This one, not so much. Hey, there it went. Nice. Well, that was weird. Well, I don't see anything else, so I think I managed to get all the stumps and bits of wood out of here. I'm gonna do one more quick check up this side here. I feel like most of the stuff that I missed was over here. Yep, looks good. So the next thing we need to do is take a look at the map here. So it's flagged as plowed. That's good. And it reflects the new size of the field. Needs lime. Alright. I've got lime. What a coincidence. Yeah, I missed a piece. That's not a wedge, that's a piece of a stump, so I'm gonna have to try and grind that one out too. So I think what I'm gonna do is one pass kind of around the outside, and then I'll start doing back and forths on this. I'm sure I'm going to here I was thinking I was going to cover too much, but this is not nearly as wide as I thought it would be. I think the unevenness of the terrain is not helping right here. There we go. So I need to stay pretty close to the edge apparently. Yeah, it's weird, when it dips down it covers less. Whoa. This is not working well. Yeah, I definitely need to roll this part. There's no way I can cut and bale hay from this. Wow, this is using the lime up very fast. Wow. Alright, so that whole thing did the edge path. I think I'm gonna need a lot more. Kinda tempted to put down the placeable for buying lime. The problem is, wherever I put it, it's not going to be where I want it to live. I kind of like need to spend some time figuring out where I want to put barns. Like, I know I want to put the grain bin here, so I'm not too sure where everything else is ultimately going to live. So I could throw it down, and in fact I could probably put it here. I'm thinking I can put some stuff in this general area, and because with the flagpole here and the grain bin here, I don't really have a whole lot else to do with this spot. So let's go ahead and try. So there's silos. No. miscellaneous. And I've got 2, so I've got that lime station, herbicide fertilizer, lime fill. So this is the Meridian one. $10,000. And was it $45 a day? Versus this one, which is $5,000 and $5 a day. Well, let's try this one. It doesn't have a fill spout, so I don't really know where the fill point is. I kind of think it's... I don't know. Only one way to find out, I guess. Well, that works. Let's see if I can fill from it. I wonder how much this is going to cost. Alright, so far so good. Oh, that's not horrible. $1,000. I'm gonna need a few more of those before I'm done with this field for sure. Hopefully that's everything. Let's double check on the map here. That's pretty good. The fertilization is a little weird. I don't know why it's registering some as being at level 1. I guess it's because... I mean, I plowed in grass. So maybe it counted the grass that I plowed in as fertilizer. And then... yeah, I don't know. And then 19's 2 levels, because it was 50% fertilized, but because I plowed in the crop, it counted as a 2nd level of fertilization. Seeding will get everything 1 level, because the seeder fertilizes. So I'm kind of tempted to hit it with the seeder next, and then once it grows 1 stage, if it needs more fertilizer, just to kind of like fill in those spots, I'll come back and do that later. I have a feeling I'm going to wind up putting barns right here to keep me from driving off this edge. So I'm just going to park that there for now. Pretend like there is a barn. Really, I need to buy this chunk of land so I can cut down that 1 tree. And then I can put that barn there in the corner. Alright, full of fertilizer, full of seed. We want to select... guessing that's grass. I don't know. Let's just cycle through them out. Wheat, barley, oats, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish, and grass. Yeah, that's gotta be grass. Alright. Now we're gonna kind of do the same thing. I'm gonna do the perimeter maybe twice, and then do back and forth. And If it misses stuff on the perimeter, I'm not too worried about it, because whatever it misses is just a good indication that I should just roll that section anyways. But I figured I'd give this a try and see what I can hit. Again, I pushed the perimeter out as far as I did because I'm trying to get rid of the bushes, not because I want the field to actually be this big. So I'm wasting a little bit of money here on lime and fertilizer and seed, but whatever. I'd rather it be big and then I roll it smaller than the other way around. Oh wow. This tractor's having issues. Come on, buddy. Pull it up the hill. It's kind of neat. You can tell it's like it's actually slipping. You can see the tires slipping. I don't know if I've ever really noticed it do that before. It's throwing up a little bit of dirt off the back of the tires while it slips. It's kind of neat. I mean, it's unfortunate that it's slipping, but at least it's doing it with great detail. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Come on. Make that turn. Alright, we're gonna have to... If I lift it... That's kind of put me exactly back where I didn't want to be. Can we do this straight? Go straight back? Thank you. Oh, it actually worked. Oh, come on, buddy. Up the hill. Do it. I don't think there's a bit of a... I don't think there's any stumps or anything. Just does not want to climb. I knew this would be a problem. Let's lift it. It's still not going to climb. It's acting like it's stuck on something. I don't see anything. I should be able to just, yeah, that log will just push out of the way when I hit it. Okay. That looks horrible. Let's see, I want most of it to be on this side of the hill. Can we make that happen? There we go. Huh. That actually worked, like, way better than I was expecting it, to be honest. It does a pretty good job just kind of crawling right over those rocks. Oh. Missing a little bit there. Yeah, even on relatively flat ground, this thing is just struggling to get up the hill. Or, sorry, not flat ground, but even ground. It's struggling to make the hill climb. This is a lot of cedar for this little tractor. I think this is the same spot I got stuck before. I'm pretty sure there's something here. So, I mean, it acts like I just hit a wall. There we go. We'll try coming at that from the other direction. It's interesting, this part of the field actually looks dry versus this line right here, because this part is already 2 layers of fertilization, so it's not applying a third. But you can see over right down this line here where it did apply some, and then when we get to the edge here. Nice. Well, that actually was easier than I thought it was going to be. So you can see the whole thing is fertilized, at least 1 stage, and a lot of it's fertilized to 2 stages. There's also like a very distinct, you know, back and forth and around pattern that kind of follows the tire tracks of my tractor that I was using to plow. It must have something to do with like how it plowed in the grass that was already there, the wild grass, and the crop destruction. So that's kind of neat. Kind of looks horrible until I get 1 more stage of fertilization on it, but I'll have to wait until the first growth stage. It's weird that there's little flakes of gold up here. It's corn or sunflower. I wonder if there's like something inside that mission up there. It's green. Huh. Maybe there's some wild corn up there. Let's see, I can't fertilize yet, but I'm going to grab this equipment that's up here just to get it back down on the level ground now that I've got all that work done. Well, alright, we've got a nice big level paved area for putting down buildings eventually. I've got this one field up here is still ready to harvest, still waiting on these sunflowers here before I go lease a harvester. Got a nice big parking area, got my equipment moved back down here, got this field all cleared, limed, plowed, seeded, fertilized. We just gotta wait for it to hit the first growth stage, and then we can keep working on it. I think the only thing I've got left to do at this point is a little bit more logging. So I'm just gonna keep logging out this area up here that I own. Let's check that out on the map. So I've got these trees here between this lane and 26. And I've got a couple trees here. And then this section of trees here along the road. There were some in here that I might take out. The clearing trees over here is not something that like I really have to do, but I've got the equipment to do it, I got the time to do it, and I could sure use the money. So I might go ahead and work on that for a little bit off camera. And then the next episode we'll probably do some harvesting over here on 25, 26, and then, you know, maybe look into combining 24 and 25 potentially into one field, and maybe kind of shortening 24 so it doesn't quite head that far north. And then if I've got enough money, I'll put down the silos and maybe a barn. I gotta put my doghouse back down. I sold the doghouse before I did the leveling, so I need that. And maybe even a power washer. So anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Quite a lot of work went into this. I'm gonna edit it down, but man, I've got over 3 hours of recording just for this one episode. So hopefully you enjoyed this. It's a big step in the right direction for the farm and really helps lay out the groundwork for building out quite a few things here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.